Okay, so a bit of time's passed since previous clip in this video. In that video, output of this computer was intermittent, and it's more often than not worked, but since then it degraded and it eventually just got a blank screen. What I've diagnosed it to be, or what I had diagnosed it to be, is a faulty modulator. I've been hunting around on YouTube and the forums, and given what I was seeing on the scope, which was still a good output from these two ferrite beads are effectively connected to pin 14 and 15 on the VIC chip, and the output from that was pretty good. So I thought, well, I had a couple of goes at desoldering the RF modulator can, right pain in the neck to do. Eventually yesterday got it off the board, soldering some flying leads here for all eight of the connections that are under there, and I'd also soldered up this little board, which is based on there's a good, I'll put a link in the description, but there's a good like RF modulator replacement board that someone's done and put it on GitHub. Yeah, so long story short, connected all this up and basically got no output still, and then I don't know what happened after that. Maybe something had broken on the board, maybe it damaged the board, but yeah, then the output from the two pins 14 and 15 on the VIC chip stopped. So sort of thinking the worst, maybe it damaged the chip somehow. Some of these, something's wrong with this board, shorted out or something, which is, I did have different variable resistors on there, the potentiometers of these two things. They're basically the same values, but not like 20 turn ones. So anyway, yeah, because I've just basically soldered this up from the schematic, I think a last ditch attempt really. I've got a spare VIC chip, but I'm going to purchase a replacement one off eBay, the actual PCB, which has got proper connections. I think what went wrong, I just connected some of these up, these leads up wrongly. Anyway, yeah, so stay tuned for the next video, hopefully when that part arrives, coming from Finland. So when that arrives, solder that up, hopefully put that in and do a video about that again, hopefully when it's working. So this is the replacement RF modulator kit that's got this on eBay, but it's as you see there, it's a GitHub project, and this should replace the composite out, and it's got all the components there, so all proper components, PCB. Just going to solder this up and see where we get to. Eventually solder it into C64, but I might just use the flying leads for now, just to check it works. So that's it soldered up. Seems to have done a fairly decent job of it, I think. Getting a bit more practice out now. So I'm just going to try and put this in, set it up. Okay, so I've got the RF modulator replacement plugged in. Got these leads coming off the board. Got the jumpers set. The jumpers are these things here in that position for 25407 motherboard. And I've not tried this yet, and I'm fully expecting not to work, just because I suspect there's possibly this G-pal. There's another jumper down here that might have to be shorted out that provides ground. But anyway, let's just give it a go as it is. Almost there. Yeah, I think that is just that G-pal jumper that needs shorting out on the board. So I'll do that and be back in a minute. Right, so I've shorted out that G-pal I-pal jumper, and here we go. Well, that's not quite what I was hoping for. Still not right. Probably looks better in real life than it does. There's still something wrong with that. Right, okay, so back to working again. There's still some of these bands going down the screen, so I might have to adjust the levels again. But the problem was the old Vic chip was toast. Replaced it with the original. So yeah, so when I got off eBay, which had been working, all it was in and out, intermittent, I thought it was the modulator all along. It could have been this, it could have been as a result of connecting up my prototype modulator that I tried to do. It's the same spec, but obviously that didn't work. But yeah, so it might, so go back to the oscilloscope, it might need, just do auto set, might need a bit of adjustment just to try and get rid of the, see there's like a band going down the screen, but all in all I'm fairly chuffed with that, and pleased that blew the replacement Vic chip up, although rather than the original, which is one of these ceramic ones. But yeah, it's a shame anyway to blow an old chip up like that. Unless, of course, it might just be that the that other Vic chip's a different revision, which isn't compatible. That's possible as well. Anyway, I'll just put the keyboard back in, maybe adjust the potentiometers, see if I get rid of that, and then wrap up. So I put the keyboard back on, plugged in the test harness, the C64 Diag cartridge. This is the first time I've had the test harness for this one since I got the display working again. And what is going on there? That's not right. Okay, yeah, I just started. One of those switches was just halfway between where it should be. It's not focusing, is it, that? There you go. Yeah, so it actually looks a lot better than it does with the blue screen, the initial boot screen. So I was getting some bands sort of cycling around like a, like it was out of sync or something. Okay, so still, despite having plugged in, that's a sound test. So still showing a few components bad. I know. So this is because of it's a replacement SID chip. All the memory's alright. I think CIA chips might be screwed because on the newer board, the C64C, that was alright. Anyway, that's it for this video. It's been, I don't know, at least 3-4 weeks since I've had any sort of picture on this, since the Vic chip went a bit dodgy.
and eventually failed. But yeah, I'm glad I've got this working again. This was the first C64 I got after I came back to sort of running these. When this one broke, then I went and got a C64C. Yeah, that's a SID test again. It's a Swin SID in this, so it's not ideal, but anyway, bye for now.